Okay, I got a lot to get into because a lot has transpired these last few days. As you all are aware, the election is next week. And I just want to go over some things with you really quick. Now, what's happening in the Democratic Party is there's been a poll that's been taken, and it shows that a lot of African Americans are trending towards voting for Donald Trump. The Democratic campaign is in a tizzy. They don't understand why this is happening. So they had Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris, go out on a couple of different podcasts. Of course, President Trump went on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, which got over 34 million views. Why is this important? Because podcasts, when you see 34 million views for a podcast, that means that a lot of people are looking for additional information other than the information they're receiving from the traditional news outlets like CNN, MSNBC, Fox News channels. Basically, those news channels have been bought and paid for by the establishments. And if you don't believe that they've been bought by the establishment, I mean, just listen to them. They say the same things over and over and over again. If any of the commentators or the anchor person says something different, they're going to get fired, censored. And so that means that they've been bought and paid for by an establishment, a group of people who believes a certain kind of way, and they're pushing a certain agenda. So anyway, so a lot of American people are going to different podcasts like the Joe Rogan Experience. And in this particular instance, Vice President Kamala Harris went on Club Shay Shay, the Breakfast Club, because she's trying to garner a lot of African Americans' attention, because basically her campaign is in a uproar about why are so many African Americans voting or leaning towards voting for Donald Trump. I saw both podcasts, the Joe Rogan Experience with President Trump, and I viewed the podcast Club Shay Shay interview with Vice President Kamala Harris. And of course, I looked at the comment section, and judging from the comment section, it doesn't look like her campaign achieved what they were coming to do, because a lot of the comments are still criticizing Vice President Harris. I don't agree with joking about people. I'm not trying to attack her or joke about her or anything like that, or make fun of her. I'm just trying to present to you all what else is out there, what's being said, so that you are not sitting in a vacuous room thinking that, oh, everyone in my circle thinks this way, so therefore it must be so. No, I'm telling you, when you look at these comments, it's a sampling of the marketplace of what people are thinking about in the United States. His particular podcast basically attracts a lot of liberals and a lot of African Americans. So let's get into the comments. I'm going to be reacting to the comments. So let's go over what people are saying as they saw the interview with Club Shay Shay, Shannon. So, okay, so let's look at them. I'm scrolling through the comments. First comment I see says grocery prices needs to be unburdened by what has been. I mean, many of us can agree with that. That's kind of funny. Let's look at more of the comments, see if anything stands out. Okay, this one says, as a person of color myself, I do find it hilarious that most of her achievements were based on either race, gender, and not actual merit or accomplishments. Okay, this person I think is African American. It says, the first African American woman to win the presidential nominee. I don't remember her receiving any votes to be the presidential nominee. Oh, wait, that's because they didn't have a vote to decide the Democratic Party nominee. Yes, there was not a primary. So, in a primary, we have different candidates that compete with each other. And then, of course, we decide which one is the best candidate. And that was not done. Instead, the elite establishment coronated her, and they told you what they thought was best for you. They didn't give you an opportunity to choose for yourself. And that's the definition of fascism right there. Okay, let's look at some more comments. Okay, scrolling. Okay, here's an interesting one. As a federal employee, I didn't have the right to preside over my own body when I wanted to refuse a COVID shot. Make it make sense. So this is in reference to abortion. My body, my rights. So why doesn't this apply when we're told to get a shot? So you understand the reasoning behind that. This one says, don't forget she told Charlemagne she listened to Snoop and Tupac when she was in college and smoking weed. Tupac was like 10 years old. Okay, so that's saying Tupac had not put out an album that she's lying, trying to make herself seem more black. And she doesn't have to do that. I mean, I think people would just accept her based off of her policies if she had any policies. So, well, she does have policies, but some of the policies many of you all don't agree with. I know I don't. So, never trust someone who promises something tomorrow when they could do it today. Of course, she is the vice president. She could have done these things. Kamala, let me be clear. I was raised in a middle class family. I was a prosecutor, and it is Donald Trump's fault. Okay, this is this person responding as Kamala. Let me be clear. I was raised in a middle class family. I am a prosecutor, and it is Donald Trump's fault. This seems to be her response to all of the questions. I think she is saying she called her pastor after Joe stepped down. Should be filed in the things that never happened for $500, Alex Collins. So, I mean, now she has a pastor when she just threw out a bunch of Christians out of one of her meetings. So, as a middle class American, I'm unburdened by the need to watch this podcast. I'm burdened by the need to tell myself she is competent to run the country. I'm burdened by the need to dismiss the years of lying about Joe's cognitive decline. She has a point there. Why do I get the impression that she thinks we blacks are not smart, ambitious, business-minded, and capable of accomplishing the things that she speaks of without government handouts? There is no such thing as free money. It always comes with strings attached. See what this one says. Scrolling down, let's see. Why are they acting like she hasn't been in office with this current administration for the past 4 years? I agree. I mean, they act like we've forgotten, like we're stupid and we don't remember. So anyway, you all get the idea of what I'm trying to say. That there are a lot of comments. Unfortunately, there are a lot of negative comments. It does look like that the polls are correct, that a lot of African Americans are dissatisfied with this current administration and will probably vote for Donald Trump. So I would be surprised if after the election it shows something different, because of all the comments that I'm looking at on podcasts like this that are liberal. It's showing that African Americans are speaking out and they're voicing their dissatisfaction for the current administration. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take this moment in time and say thank you to the 300 subscribers that have subscribed to my new YouTube podcast channel, Zero Ambiguity. Without you, I can continue to put out content like this. We are growing each and every day, so I would like to invite new subscribers to like and subscribe. If you like any of this material that you're hearing, please take the time to like and subscribe. Viewership is important, but I do appreciate the new subscribers too as well. Also, I do list this podcast on other social media platforms like Facebook, but right now they are aggressively suppressing the algorithm so that information like this doesn't get out. Fascism, this is what I think fascism is. It's when you got to suppress other people's opinions and ideas so that your opinion can prevail and most people can think that that's the dominant opinion. But no, there are so many different varying opinions out there. We've got to allow the marketplace to help us to choose what we think is right, and we don't need authoritarian people trying to suppress information and telling us what they think is right for us like we're children. Anyway, so thank you so much for tuning in to this YouTube podcast and channel, Zero Ambiguity. I'll see you all next time. Thanks.